welcome back to another guitar practice week. Willkommen, bienvenue, and welcome to another practice week. Today we're talking about what happened over the weekend. A little mistake with some cutlery and a little bit of super glue later. I think I can play guitar today. So we'll see what happens. We'll see how all of that goes. We're just going through the Monday morning routine, you know what I mean? Just trying to get the body adjusted to playing guitar for the day. Just going to do a quick tune-up. And if you've been hanging out here before, you know that the tune-up is it's a hit or miss for some of us. Some of us are interested in tuning, and some of us only tune the guitar as a point of utility. But I enjoy trying to be in tune. I really enjoy trying to get in tune, you know? Has a lot to do with more than the guitar, I guess. What does it have to do with? So let's get our morning started that way. If you don't mind, we'll just get our morning started that way. Let's see. I'm just finishing up tuning here. Good morning. I just wanted to welcome you to a happy Monday morning. So the D string is, just want to get this right. We are paying attention to the chat, so if you do have any questions, don't hesitate to give us a shout. So I think once a string is in tune, I kind of leave it alone unless I don't anticipate having to adjust the guitar very much, because you know, it's a day-to-day thing, but it did sit at rest for a night, and just got to check to see if, just to confirm that we're both on the same page here. Definitely appreciate the likes, for sure. Thank you. That's helpful. You know, it is really helpful. So. And appreciated. So I'm just getting ready to work through a practice routine. Again, 60 beats per minute. So many of us don't, I think, you know what, I'm going to start, because it's Monday, I'm going to start with quarter notes and try to be super observant of everything involved mechanically in this process. So Monday morning, quarter notes at 60 beats per minute. It's going to give me a chance to really start working on my breathing. Try to maintain my posture. I've also been working on this stool that's made by some famous woodworker that I don't want to mention. Maybe I do mention. It's Mosher, Thomas Mosher, maybe. I think. And I don't really want to cut it, but it's a little too tall for my practice. So for the day-to-day, I have to use a footstool on you can see I'm using a footstool on this right leg is elevated. And I don't have a good solution for that other than, so what the problem is, if I'm using a footstool on my right leg, I have to also, you know, every 15 minutes, 15, 20, 30 minutes, I need to adjust my body. Otherwise, my pelvis will be out, and my massage therapist will be like, what are you doing? Your legs are sitting to the left and your torso is sitting to the right. And I'm like, I am. It feels totally normal to me, but we can end up in a situation where we just, you know, we can end up in a situation, let me frame it like this, we can end up in a situation where we become observant of our posture. I guess that's a good, safe way to put it. And I'm going through 60 beats per minute only because it's a Monday morning, and I really want to re-engage with the guitar so I can be sort of like mentally sort of guitar ready over the span of the week. I'm also, if any of you have seen my string tension guitar video, it's a sort of a full-length tutorial, 4 or 5 or 6 minutes or something. We talk a little bit about string tension, and I can feel the resistance. I want to go at a tempo where I can be observant of the resistance that each string is providing against my pick, so I can feel the attack, and that way I can continue to build on that. Oh, Master of Puppets. Yeah, there you go. That's great. I love it. Yeah, now you're talking. That's some old school. Master. Yeah, I remember those days. I think I'm still living those days. It's in there. Oh, you can hear me. I'm losing my focus a little bit, so you can hear my high E string start to bark. Let me see what we can come up with in Master of Puppets. For Master of Puppets, I'm going to be on the internet here every morning for the next year, just so you all know exactly what I'm up to. If you've been here before, you know what's going on. But I'm doing 5 days a week online. Between this account is my preferred account, and I like to just kind of hang out here. I thought if I'm going to be doing my morning ritual every morning for 5 days a week for a year, I could start by taking a snapshot from the first video in this series. So the earlier you comment, the more likely you're going to be reviewed in 1 year's time from now, because I'm going to take an early practice video and then I'm going to take another practice video 12 months from now, sort of like next New Year, right? New Year's celebration or something like that, right? So why don't we do like a New Year's Eve, like what did we make for gains over the course of this 12-month period? So right now I've been using all downstrokes, and I'm going to convert to upstrokes, and I'm going to continue to I can talk with you now because I work on breathing while I'm playing the guitar. So let me just give you a quick example of what I work on for breath. And it's not just a me thing, I do appreciate it. I like it. It's very personal for me, but other really gifted players actually are good at separating their breathing from their, what they're actually playing on the guitar. So I'm just going to focus on breath for another, couple of positions here. So I'm on 3rd position now, maybe up until like 5th position, get a bit of solid bit of focus. Give it another round because my right hand isn't really jiving with the metronome. I hope you guys don't mind. Just bear with me just one more moment. Wow, Chattanooga, holy smokes. Where are these things coming? This is great. All right. Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh yeah, now you're talking. Like, I used to love to sit down and watch television, but I didn't want to waste my time, so I would practice the guitar while I was watching the television, in my adolescence or whatever, in my youth. So I think I remember learning how to play through discovery-based method. You know, we just let's play find the note, and I'd go through the TV commercial and then just try to memorize or learn and memorize any television commercials that were sticking out at the time. Also theme songs, you know, like The Simpsons was a great one to learn on the guitar. Pretty easy to do. Pirates of the Caribbean. Good morning, Jim. What's going on? Okay, Robbie, great question. What time did you say you'll be starting every day? My plan is I've started, I reached the top of that pattern now, so I've got to stretch. So this is a good time for me to talk, right? So I plan my goal time. In order for me to accomplish everything I need to do in my day, I have to start at 7, but I've been starting a little bit later just so, you know, I think some of us like to roll in a little easier than others. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, 8 o'clock's a good time. I'm still trying to dial it in. That's a good question because, you know, we obviously want to reach as many people as we can, but the schedule is what dictates what we do, right? So I do have to be mindful of, you know, what works for me. And if it doesn't work for me, it doesn't really work for, what I've found is charity starts at home. And if it doesn't work for me, it can't work for my family, and then it can't work for my community, which means, you know, it can't work for anybody. So the most important thing is you're right, define a start time. I feel like 7 or 7:30 or at the very latest 8, because I spend a half an hour here and a half an hour on another channel. I'll flip back and forth between warming up here and warming up over there, and then, you know, doing the post warm up sort of stuff. Like in this case, we're working on silver bells, and we are. I did write down that arrangement. If you were with me last week, end of the week, we came up with a pretty cool flat picking arrangement, half of it, I think, you know. I did write it down this weekend. I transcribed it, and so I can make it available, a partial transcription to you for free, but once it's all done, so you will make the entire transcription of it available for the tablature available to you for free on the internet at our website. If you wanted to see a partial version of it, I could get it uploaded today and put a link in this video's description where you could go back and download it if you want. So if you do want a copy of it early, just let me know because it's really cool. I mean, we're working it out, literally working out the arrangement here. After we go through the warm-up stuff, can you play Pirates of the Caribbean? I'm going to work on Pirates of the Caribbean for sure. So hopefully, BP, I think, Jim, I think I answered your question. I'm going to continue along with my warm-up while I talk again. Oh, Captain Hindsight. Yeah, geez, I thought that was my name. Captain Hindsight, I like that. I'm going to remember that one. Guess I remember everybody anyway. So we've got, it is my X series. It's my guitar that I'm putting the mileage on. I thought I need a guitar that I can play 5 days a week for an hour and a half, between an hour and a half and 2 hours a week, you know, every day, 5 days a week. And I have some other guitars I really didn't want to burn out because I have to insure those at a different price level or whatever, you know. For whatever reason, it's just harder to get them repaired, you know, to the level that they deserve. So I don't want to burn out frets, and that's pretty much all I'm just crying about. You know, I don't think it's that big a deal if I were to play those guitars, but I really wanted to get familiar with a guitar that is more like designed for, you know, workhorsing, you know, just kind of getting the day-to-day stuff done. I did have a friend over the other day. He's an MIT guy, and I don't know if there are any MIT friends here. Yeah, I'm going to join. We'll jam out today. Absolutely. If it's not in this one, you can follow me over to my TikTok channel because I'm due at TikTok in until it gets banned, until on like 9:15 or something like that. I've got to be there at least by 9:30. But I still haven't completed my warm-up, so I'm going to continue. I might run a little bit over. I've got another 15 scheduled minutes here, but there's a chance I might run over because I've got a lot of warm-up stuff that I need to work on. So good question. Going to definitely jam out here. Shape of Your Heart. So Shape of Your Heart, man, that's a great sentiment, isn't it? Oh yeah, tabs for silver bells. Oh cool, I'm glad to hear that you're liking it work out. Alright, I'm focusing on practicing here. I gotta get back to breathing and then I can talk again. If I can't breathe, I can't talk for some reason on the guitar. So I'm playing so fast I can't even breathe. Alright, so I'll definitely get those uploaded later this morning. And I really appreciate why we're here. We're literally going to watch ourselves make sizable gains. And if you're here, smash that like button. Give me a like, man, or woman, or whatever. It's just, I definitely appreciate seeing the likes up there. And keep the comments coming because your dad is your dad is who? Robbie Smith. So that was the next question, and I definitely will get that partial tab of silver bells up and linked out for delivery today. You'll see it as a link in this description. Also, you'll see the tablature as a link, the partial tab, because we're not obviously done, but you'll see the partial tab in my YouTube community link section. So I do participate there a lot. I really kind of go. That's sort of a nice little sounding board for all of us when we're not doing the YouTube, like the general commenting. So you notice that I'm doing fingers 2 and 4 now. I kind of jumped the gun, or fingers 3 and 4. And what I'm doing is I'm introducing a fret between each finger, and so it adds a layer of complication between fingers 3 and 4. And fingers 3 and 4 being the weakest of the links, I like to work those a little bit more. And as I get closer, because I assume that you're here, you want to do this. I see more likes coming. I appreciate that. But I assume since you're here that you as well are also interested in using that, some parts. You're going to pick parts of these exercises that you want to keep, parts of these exercises that you want to throw away and never see again. This was probably one of them, but it's one of the more beneficial pieces of the warm-up that we could do. That being said, well, that really stressed out my hand. So I'm going to do a little bit of a stretch here because I think it's time. I don't usually stretch this much, but it's Monday morning. We're still warming up, getting the body. If the body is telling me that I need to stretch, I'm going to stretch. It's my body. I probably should take care of it, I guess. And in the coming weeks after we're finished, so I'll do some more talking. After Silver Bells is completed and distributed, and I hope to see some of you playing it and making videos about it. That would be really cool. It'd be like dreamlike to watch some of you perform it. So I'm really going to work hard to finish it in case somebody does want to record a video of it and perform it. Oh, 𝗪𝗏 Guitar, thank you very much for the question. What I'm going to do is I'll go take a look at it. Send me a link to that. Send me the link to what you want me to look at. Please, that's great. I love that. Thank you very much. I'm serious about it too. I look at all of this stuff, so don't hesitate. All right, back in action. I'm going to use fingers 2 and 3 now. Fingers 2 and 3 are just, it's a little different to play 2 and 3 because 2 and 3 are kind of landlocked, you know, and if you get those Atlantic or Pacific salmon, they're a different creature from the landlocked salmon, right? They're a completely different creature. And so these 2 fingers want to they want to do the job, but it's just like they need a little bit of extra training. So this is harder for me to make that stretch without contorting my body. So I really need to work on a strategy to get these 2nd and 3rd fingers shaped up, you know, in shape. Hey, would any of you? I've got a phone call. Like we're writing a song right now called "Still Neighbors," and we're actually we've got a phone call at 11 today. Is that anything anyone's interested in being part of? Is like watching the songwriting process. I have a friend who's a wonderful songwriting collaborator, and I wondered if any of that would be interesting to any of you. I'm just kind of curious. We're in the middle of the song. It's Still Friends, or Still Neighbors. And we're going to discuss a little bit about it and kind of including direction at 11 o'clock today. And if that's something that you guys are interested in seeing, just let me know. He's the managing editor, was the managing editor for Modern Drummer magazine, and just a wonderful writer, just an amazing songwriter, and I just get a chance to collaborate with him. I've collaborated with him. I've had the benefit of working with him for the past I don't know, year or so. We have probably 3 or 4 songs, 4 or 5 good songs released that you could listen to if you'd like to check it out. But if you want to learn more about how our songwriting approach works, I'd be happy to start, you know, working on a program to share some of that stuff too. All right, so now we're working. We've got the chromatic stuff done. Chromatic stuff is done. So what can we do now? What do you suppose would happen next after we get the chromatic stuff done? Oh, a little stovetop espresso goes the distance in the morning. Do you know? It's I use this little mocha pot, and it's a little single shooter, like a pinch hitter, but 1 cup is pretty much all you need for a week. It's pretty great coffee. You're gonna see, like, if you're hanging out, you're gonna see, like, over the weekend I cut my first finger, like doing some food prep. My index finger, I just got a little excited with the coming over the chicken, and then just kind of maybe coming the wrong way or something, and just doing something that was a little foolish. And I've got super glue holding my fingertip together, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. Let's get into tonicizing some things. Let's get into tonic. Tonal playing. Let's do some tonal work. And I say that because part of this warm-up, I'd like for this to be also atonal work. So I want to get through, and you'll see, if you stick around, you'll know what that means. So it's just whole tone scales and diminished scales. We're just going to run through a couple of those later today too. But now I'm starting with C major scale. Right, and I'm just working up and down the scale, ascending and descending, very simple, you know, do, and then we're in the key of F major. But I probably should just continue going up and down, but keep an eye on those root notes. I'm also going to let the open strings kind of ring sympathetically while I'm going through the sequence, because I really want to get to know what the top of the guitar is all about. So instead of, you know, trying to choke out strings that I'm not using, you know, down here I might use the end of my palm to keep the strings from ringing. And whatever finger I'm not using here, I might use, you know, drag my fourth finger or whatever. It's almost more work to get the strings to not ring, right? There are strings that I do not want to ring, and there are strings that I do want to hear. It's almost more work to get those strings to not sound, right? I mean, have you experienced that? It's but it's worth it. It's all worth it for clean technique. So we've been through C major scale. Now we're going through the cycle 4. We're in the C, F major scale. Now we're going up to B flat, onward and upward. We're just going through and tonicizing our ears now. And then B flat major 7. And then we're going up to E flat. E flat, in the key of E flat, like a lot of the sympathetic strings don't ring on the guitar. Huh, wonder why that is. I see another like there, I appreciate that. Right, so we've got A flat major scale. And then we're headed on up to, that one just feels really good on the, under the fingers. All right, what is that? Yeah, A flat major. And then we've got that A flat major scale that we want to just kind of pull the sound together with right there. And then we're headed on up to D flat major scale. D flat. Oop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, major 7 and 1. Oh, let's change, let's stay on D flat major. And then G flat major. Finger seems to be holding up pretty well, even though it's super glued together. My index finger on my fretting hand had a mishap with a kitchen knife this weekend. But the super glue seems to be doing pretty well at keeping that, that pain at bay too, right? It just doesn't, as long as I'm not right on it, it seems to work pretty well. And then we're back at the original pattern. So we had 1, 2, 3, the 2 pattern, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, and then 7. Different patterns before we arrive at the same major scale shape that we're going to repeat with, okay? So we're going to use all of these same patterns that you just saw going through. We went through C, F, B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and then we're going through the same thing, B, E, A, D, G, C. All right, so cycle 4 is until we get all the way down to C again, right? So we start up here at C, and then we go down here. We're going to get into that in more detail later on, but I just wanted to work a little bit on some symmetrical scales. I see more likes coming in. I definitely appreciate that. I see another comment. G guy, wobbles, smooth. G guy, are you reading notation? How do you know when to shift to higher octave position? Oh, that's a good, all right. Yeah, that's a good question to answer. Let's start again on position C. I'm just going to go, I know sometimes I get moving along quickly because I start racing here because there's so much to do. But the important thing is to not do that, right? Observe every click, every step of the way, every click, yeah. And if you're here, if you're liking what's going on, just smash the like button, smash it, boom, give it a boom. Let's see if we can get it up to 20 today. My guess is we can get it up to 20, that would be helpful for everybody, right? So let's see what we can do about getting that up to 20. My guess is we can do it. So I'm just going, while we're working on finding the like button, I'm going, yeah, all right. So I'm seeing it. Yeah, I'm seeing it. I'm watching it jump. I just saw it go from 5 to 7. So we're getting there. I'm just going to continue working. Now I'm excited. Now I've got to contain myself. Breathe, Jason, breathe. So we've got this nice 2-4-1-2-4, and I'm working up 1 octave. And I'm starting in position number 7. Second finger is on fret number 8 on the low E string. Hey, big love from Ohio. Yeah. Boom. Right on, Tyler. Good morning. Good morning, friend. Yeah, all right. Yeah, I'm feeling the Eastern time. Me too, yeah. We're the first. We're raising the sun for everybody else in the nation. So we've got this really nice, smooth. Wobbly says smooth, you know. I like smooth. Smooth is good. We're looking for 20 likes, by the way. If you're just coming on board and you can't find the like button, I'm going to kind of hang out for another couple minutes until we get those 20. That's just a small goal I'm setting for us, right? So if we can get to 20, we can get to 20, right? If we can do it. So fingers 2, 4. I'm only going up I'm ascending the C major scale up 1 octave. And then once I get to the octave, I should theoretically take pause, right? I should take a break, observe, you know, I see another one. Thank you, 9, we're getting 9. We're almost halfway there. We can do it. I'm sure we can do it. So clicking the like button, if you're having trouble finding it, I'm gonna hang out for a couple more minutes. But I need to ascend from root note to root note. I don't need to look at tablet notation to do this, but it does help to look at music notation. Tablature is great, but if I'm looking at music notation, I can see it, I can make reference to it in my head, I can start to look at like melodic contours and shapes and areas of passage. So I do think it's important to use music notation. You know, do we need to do it? Do I have friends? Do we all have friends who play professionally every night, you know, and not know how to read music? Yes. Do they care? Maybe. Do they let it stop them being successfully touring musicians? No. So, you know, I don't think it's a need, but I definitely feel like there's a serious appreciation coming from that angle from my person, because I think it's really important to be able to visualize what we're thinking musically and to make those connections. And there really isn't a better process that I can express at the moment. So good question. So here's the smoothness, right? So it comes from 2-4-1-2-4, 1-3-4, and that's the C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then I descend that. I always include all of the notes in the given position. So in this position, I do have 2-4, 1-2-4, 1-2-4, 1-3-4. So I have all of those notes, C to shining C, if you will, right? Oh yeah, harmonic chord changes, you got it, yeah. So are you making reference to harmonic minor? Because harmonic minor chord progressions are some of my, some of the world's favorites. We have, now we're going from C to shining C on the top end, on the upper octave of that position. I'm making use of all of the notes available in that given position. And that's C to shining C. So C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Or fingers, 4, 1, 3, 4. All right, let's go slower. 4, 1, 3, finger, 4, 2, 4, 1, and then 2. And that's the other octave, or the second octave above from where we start, from whence we came. So we have C, D, E, F, and I apologize for going slow, but I want to make sure that we don't miss any detail here. And this is really how I should be practicing. So did you see how I stopped and started again on the octave? I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to let it go by for a beat, and then I'm going to go up and grab all of the notes available in that position, and then start my descent after I stop and start on the octave again. Descending from fingers 3 to 1 to 4, and then that's another root note. So I also want to be aware of what the root notes or what the note names are. And you heard, you know, in the 𝗪𝗿𝗺𝗧𝗲 interview with Steve Vai and Joe Satriani. If you haven't heard it, go check it out. You're going to love it. Oh yeah, the blues scale. Yeah, now we're talking, right? So that's a great, that's kind of been breathed into my blood. The blues scale is a part of where we were coming from pentatonically, and then we started working on, I don't know if you've ever followed the lineage of blues music, but it leads right down the line to hip hop and, you know, other newer stuff. So including multiple genres of American popular music and Balinesian music, you know, it's everywhere. The pentatonic scale is so critically important, and I know I'm kind of jumping the gun here, but we're going to, after this sequence is done with, after we start finishing up with Silver Bells, we're going to start working on some Stevie Ray Vaughan. You know, we'll probably spend a week with Stevie Ray Vaughan, so when you bring your guitar, you probably want to bring your guitar, you know, electric guitar maybe. We'll start working with Scuttlebutton, you know, and stuff like Cold Shot. We'll start working on some of those electric guitar techniques. You know, Giver has been really after me for that, and for good reason, right? So it's just it's a great place to spend some time if we haven't spent any time there, you know. All right, so we've got how many likes? Can we get to 20, do you think? Can we get to 20 likes? If you have a friend who would appreciate this kind of morning activity, sharing this video, this live stream with them would maybe help. Help them, help you, help me, help all of us. Oh, camera's back. Sorry about that. Not sure what happened. I know, oh, I see 11 now. I think we can get to 20 likes. I think we can do it. I really do. I think we can manage it. So, but we might have to do that tomorrow, right? So I've got to get ready to wrap it up because I've got to jump over to TikTok and change gears a little bit because we're working on the Silver Bells arrangement, which is going to be released. The tablature for free is going to be it's going to be released in part in this video description if you want to go. I'll also link it to free download in the YouTube community page on my channel here, right here at Jason Carey Guitar. And I really appreciate you being here. I'm just going to finish up right now and just finish up my warm-up so I can be prepared. And maybe while I'm finishing up this warm-up, maybe you can give me a few more likes. My goal for today is to try to get to 20. 20 likes would be, you know, I'm a happy guy either way. I'm just going to go right along with what I'm doing, but I would definitely appreciate it if I see 12 of us have figured out where the like button is. So I'm going to use 5s now. It's really important to kind of make all of this as musical as we can. I'm trying to accent each 5, each one. Now let's see what happens when we integrate fives into, I really got to get going, but I want to just do, oh, we've got six more likes. We can get to 20 likes for this session. I know we can do it. Oh, this is a, let's see, this guitar right here is a Martin DX2E. It's the second iteration of it. I love the guitar. I'll supply the link in the description of this, the exact link to this guitar in this video description after it publishes live, so you can look for it if you'd like. You know, if you like, you know, I like the guitar. It's not my intention to, it's not my intention to sell the guitar, because is it the best guitar, you know, for the money? I don't know. I mean, the 𝗬𝗨𝗃 that you all see me practice with the custom, I made a custom leather pick guard for one of my blonde 𝗬𝗨s, and I drove up and down the entire eastern seaboard, and I stopped at every music store up and down the entire eastern seaboard looking for the 𝗬𝗨𝗃, my next 𝗬𝗨𝗃. And I played all kinds of Telecasters, and I ended up finding one that wasn't too far from my own habitation. So oddly enough, after all of those 3,000 miles or something like that, drive down and back again, that was, you know, it's kind of cool to think that there was something right here near my own habitation. And so looking for a guitar, I evaluate, I think we all evaluate looking for guitars for our own purpose to use as daily drivers or whatever. I think those all have different, we all use different rubrics or a different set of rules that we use to buy guitars by. So I like this particular guitar because I can spend 5 days a week for an hour and a half or so, hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning practicing, just kind of burning it out. And I don't feel too badly about it. And it sounds great. The spruce top works great, sounds wonderful. And if you're here, I'm interested in 20 likes. So if you can give us 20 likes before we're done in about 2 minutes. But if we can make it to 20, that'd be great. And if not, now let's take a look at sevens. Maybe I can get, oh no, I wanted to get to fives in a tonic setting. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2. And making those fives sound natural and arriving at departing from the root note and arriving at the root note is something that is really remarkable, right? And doing that when you're using subgroupings of 5 or 5 attacks per beat, it can be a little disorienting how to get back to the root note that we're looking for. So it's worth practicing. So using fives over a pentamerous nature over those groups of 4 are even more challenging. So I would encourage you to take a note. And I'm getting ready to run over to TikTok, Jason Carey Guitar on TikTok, and we're going to continue working on 𝗪𝗿𝗺𝗺s. You can look for the current version of 𝗪𝗿𝗺𝗺s in its incomplete form, so you can learn it and follow along, and maybe even learn it and practice. It's a performance-ready arrangement made right here for us, so that you can, if you want, record it, share a video of it, of you playing this arrangement, and maybe we'll be able to share it on this channel in a full-on tutorial. I'd love to do that. And if you have more time, practice some more guitar, I guess. You know, we'll get to 20 likes next time. But I appreciate you coming today, and I appreciate seeing you again tomorrow. We're here 5 days a week in the mornings. Between, you know, you'll catch us. I'm still trying to dial in a start time, but you know, I like to start at 7, but I think I've been starting 7:30, 8 o'clock, 8:30 or something like that. So we'll see you again next time. And until then, happy picking.